Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Jai Jinendra, Pranam, Namaskar to all distinguished guests, scholars, and seekers of knowledge and wisdom. It is an honor to speak today at the World Religion Conference on the subject close to my heart, the concept of divinity and God in Jainism. I express my sincere thanks to all the organizers of this seminar for having accepted the abstract on this topic and giving me an opportunity to present a paper expressing my views on the subject. The views expressed by me on this paper are based on my limited knowledge and understanding of Jain philosophy. Please forgive me if any of the content presented inherited errors of any kind. As per my observation, it appears that the Western audience know very little about Jain philosophy. In the theoretical background that is given in the flyer for this seminar, there are some names of Indian philosophical schools mentioned, but no mention of Jain philosophy is there. Before dwelling into the main topic, it is important for me to provide an introduction to Jainism, as many of you may not be familiar with the ancient yet profound tradition. Jainism, also known as Jain Dharma, is one of the oldest spiritual traditions originating in India with roots that extend beyond well over 2500 years, or its philosophical underpinning that date even further back, drawing back from pre-Jain traditions such as Shramana and Nirgrantha movement. Those were the two names of the Jain philosophy, which we know as Jain philosophy. The term Shramana refers to a tradition of renunciates or ascetic who sought liberation through self-discipline, meditation, and non-attachment. The tradition challenged the realistic, hierarchic practice of Vedic Brahmanism, emphasizing personal responsibility and inner transformation. The Nirgranth, meaning those without any possession or attachment, and inner transformation, were spiritual seekers to the embodied principles and lived austere lives. Jainism evolved as a formalized continuation of these ideas, emphasizing liberation through ethical conduct and self-restraint. Jainism was systematized by Tirthankars, or spiritual victors, who are revered as enlightened beings. The 24th and the most recent Tirthankar, Lord Mahavira, lived in the 6th century BCE and is considered the reformer of pre-existing Jain teachings. However, it is essential to recognize that Mahavira was not the founder of Jainism, but a revitalizer of an ancient tradition that existed for millennia. At the heart of Jain philosophy, there are three core principles that guide spiritual and ethical life of adherents. First is ahimsa, non-violence. The commitment to non-violence is thought, words, and deeds towards all living beings. The principle extends beyond physical harm to include mental and torture harm also, making it a cornerstone of Jain ethics. The second one is anekantvad, multiplicity of perceptives. They recognize that truth and reality are complex and multifaceted. This principle teaches humility and the importance of considering diverse viewpoints, fostering tolerance and dialogue. The third one is aparigraha, non-possessiveness, the practice of limiting one's desire and attachment to lead a simple and more meaningful life. The principle encourages the detachment not only from materialistic possession but also from ego and pride. Jain cosmology offers a unique perspective on the universe. It posits that the universe is eternal, operating according to its own inherent laws and without need for a creator or a destroyer. Instead of being anthropocentric, Jainism emphasizes the quality and interconnectedness of all life forms. Even every living being, regardless of its form of level of consciousness, possesses a soul and has a potential liberation. The ultimate goal of Jainism is moksha, that is liberation, where the soul is freed from the cycle of birth and rebirth, that is samsara, it is known as. This is achieved by shredding karmic particles that obscure the soul's innate qualities of infinite knowledge, that is Ananta Gnan, perception, that is Ananta Darshan, bliss, that is Ananta Sukha, and energy, that is Ananta Virya, that is the vitality. Before addressing the central theme, please allow me to share some insights of the Anekantwad. The term Anekant is derived from the three Sanskrit words. First is Aneka, means meaning. Anta means aspects or end. And the third is Vada, meaning doctrine. Thus, Anekantwad translates the doctrine of multiple perspectives. It asserts that the truth is relative and every statement about reality is only partially true, depending on the context. This idea of central to Jain epistemology and is closely related to Syadvada, the theory of conditional predication, which states that every truth claim should be prefixed with the word Syad, meaning from certain perspective. A classic example used to explain this Anekantwad is the story of six blind men and the elephant, where each man touches a different part of the elephant and describes it differently. None of them are entirely wrong, but none of them are fully full picture description either. However, today, let us look beyond this well-known parable and examine a real-world example that illustrates the Anekantwad in action. Artificial intelligence ethics. Who defines right and wrong? Another pressing global issue where Anekantwad is relevant is artificial intelligence ethics. As artificial intelligence becomes